Let me tell you how cold it was out in D.C. yesterday, you guys, because there was a historic marijuana rescheduling hearing opened up, and then it's paused. No, not paused, but paused until mid-January, you guys. That's right.
Pause.
Yeah. No diddy. Historic hearings on marijuana's status under federal law will begin in earnest sometime in mid-January, an administrative law judge for the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration said during a procedural session yesterday on Monday. At that time, hearings will be held Tuesday through Thursday, because that's the real work week in D.C., for as long as it takes, said John Mulrooney II, the DEA's chief administrative law judge. There's still no exact date when Mulrooney might rule on moving marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act, which would have profound consequences for the $32 billion state-regulated U.S. cannabis industry. That long-awaited date appears to be no earlier than February, when some of the parties designated to participate in the rescheduling process indicated availability to give part of what might be a week's worth of testimony, you guys. Well, I hope they're saying like a week, because then that'd be like 2 weeks, because they're only doing 3 days a week, but whatever, we'll see. In the meantime, more filings in the proceedings are due December 13th, with documents due also on January 3rd. 2 homework dates that Mulrooney set on Monday. And focus includes the judge's pigeonholes, you guys. That's right. There's a lot of pigeonholes in this whole thing. And as expected, Mulrooney heard no evidence or testimony from the select few designated participants during 2 hours of proceedings yesterday. Nor has Mulrooney absorbed any of the copious information presented to him in pre-hearing filings, he said. Instead, during his opening remarks and in dialogue with attorneys representing the parties, Mulrooney seemed concerned with narrowing what evidence and testimony he will hear, in part so that a decision can be reached as swiftly as is reasonable. In a quote, "Remember, everybody, this is not a trial whether marijuana is good or bad," he said at one point. "I don't know if it's good. My issues are much more narrower than that," he says. In an additional quote, he says, "It has to do with addiction, potential, and several other little pigeonholes that I have." I wonder what he's feeding the pigeons. While setting ground rules, Mulrooney's focus on Monday was determining availability from the 19 designated participant witnesses, and in some cases questioning whether the witnesses qualified as experts. The reschedule hearing process, well, Mulrooney established Monday that each of the designated participants will be allowed 90 minutes for testimony from a witness they select. Opposing parties can cross-examine that testimony for up to 20 minutes, and parties consolidating their arguments with another designated participant is also allowed, including some of the pro-marijuana blocs denied full standing in the proceedings, and those permitted independent participation can have up to 120 minutes for 2 witnesses. It likely will not be until after February of 2025 when Mulrooney concludes hours of testimony and an untold cachet of evidence. No books. Experts only, they say. The cachet, though, Mulrooney stressed on Monday, must be as brief as possible, you guys. That's right, keep it to the talking points. And some witnesses appeared keen to send Mulrooney as much information as possible, including books they'd written. I wonder if they were signed. In a quote, "Here's a spoiler alert," he said. "I'm not going to be reading anybody's book," he said. "I don't have the lifespan to read mountains of evidence, and I want the evidence that's important." Witnesses also must demonstrate in testimony or a written brief why they qualify as an expert. Well, I mean, this whole trial sounds more to me like the whole New York trial against Trump and whatnot, because it sounds like the decisions have already been made before the trial even starts. But nonetheless, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about all of this.
The fact that nobody's taking the bait on that Trump shit, Jason. This is apples apples.
The fact that they say it's not about whether pot is good or bad, sure it is. And if they're worried about addiction,
I watched that part. I watched him say it. I watched the judge say
They're
it.
worried about addiction. Why aren't they worried about
He said his whole focus is to decide if whether or not marijuana is more dangerous than fentanyl.
It's just a dumb comment.
Wow, that's dumb as shit.
I mean, if he's getting information that marijuana comes prepackaged sometimes with fentanyl, from cops, it's never really rebuffed. That information is out there.
I'm wondering who these guys are that are spreading this fake news.
We know who some of those people are, Saman. I know a bunch of them.
You know exactly.
I know a bunch of them. Yeah, this smells like Kevin Sabet. Yeah,
it was a rhetorical question.
Shout out to Brian Dombrowski out there with a big old super chat who says,
"Big shout
Parody
out, Brian.
Gummy, Texas." That's right, Parody Gummy is coming to Texas.
Right.
We are very, very, very excited about that.
In there.
Yes.
Coming to a gas station near you.
In Maynard, Texas.
We love gas
Check it
stations
out,
in
Delta
Texas.
Bros. Big shout out, Delta Bros.
That's
Big
right.
shout out all the cannabis dispensaries dispensing THCA or medical or adult use cannabis around the country. You're doing the Lord's work. We love you.
Yes, I really think that we need to do a marijuana Mitch pre-roll now, though, Simone.
I think marijuana Mitch is secretly smoking
slow rolls. Oh, how about that? How about you call it slow your rolls?
He's the only one smoking monogram pre-rolls.
That's right.
He's the only one
who can afford it.
We call him Midzy Mitch. I don't know.
Marijuana Mitch, man. Gotta love some marijuana Mitch, you guys.
Well,
So good.
you know that what's going on. I mean, look, this is it's out of hand. It's out of hand, people. What's going on? We just need to go on an eradication mission of eradicating mids from America. That's the
man. This is going exactly how it's supposed to, exactly how it was designed to go, and.
Did anyone really think that they were going to get anything different out of this DEA hearing? Like I wasn't expecting anything less than what we're seeing.
The DEA hearing is the safe banking of 2024. It is nothing but blue balls and bullshit. This is a hype vehicle for the what ifs, and the cheerleaders in this industry get little goosebumps and all excited. It ain't nothing. It's nothing. Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. And I don't understand, other than like somebody who's got massive stock in canopy growth, why anybody gets excited when they hear these press releases about nothing. And so it's time for this industry to be far more jaded and cynical. I mean, every time there's an election, it's like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Nobody's done it. I mean, why would we be so high on our own? Well, why would we be so high on our own supply that we would think that any of this actual progress is going to fly?
Well, because one day it was, and maybe people are getting so high off their THCA that maybe they are flying in real life, Yarrow.
I mean, look, I think the DEA thing, hopefully I would love to be wrong, but they're just going to kick the can down the road. I mean, isn't that really politics at its core?
Yeah.
Is to do listening tours and town hall meetings.
It's not necessarily to kick the can, it's to move the goalposts. It's to move the goalposts is more the name of the game in politics.
Chuck, that's my favorite one. Chuck,
hey, you know what? Here's the thing. We got a new administration come in.
Trump it's going to be so great.
And Trump brought in all of his homeboys.
Oh, it's going to be so
everything.
Good. So good, you guys.
All right. And so look, man. Like I'm not viewing this as a negative in any form or fashion. I think it's hilarious to hear a lot of liberals. And it's
the best. I love the liberals.
Jason
I love the liberals. I love the liberals, bro. I love the liberals.
How I feel, and I'm just let y'all know some real shit right now, man. All the liberals like up in arms about what Trump's gonna do, like dismantle this shit. The system's been fucking broken.
Dismantle it.
It's been fucking broken. And guess what? If I won the presidency against all fucking odds like Donald Trump did, like, should he be in office? No. Should he be in this? Like,
he totally should be. He won.
You can say all of that, but he's
a 3-time champ.
And guess what? I'd bring all my homeboys and homegirls with me too. Guess what? You're getting exactly what you voted for, and this is what America voted for. Yeah, if he's gonna go in there and wreck shop and tear these motherfuckers, you know what? is going to happen, and I'm just going to reserve judgment until that happens. Let them fail.
They're all very rapey, though.
Jason, you said that he's a 3-time president.
I said he's a 3-time champ. I said 3-time champ.
Qualified people like in office for so long, and they don't get a goddamn thing done. So if Trump does not get it done, guess what? Is there hope for any of this shit? I don't know. But
do you really think anything is going to change with him in office?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch is going to change. 100%.
There's going to be opportunity for every.
Yes.
Yeah, women are less safe because they're all very rapey.
Todd, you may get your hair back during this administration.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And look, there may or may not be change. It may or may not be positive. But let's be clear. All this DEA stuff is nothing but headlines. This is just blah, blah, blah.
It's to get the people talking. This is monogram. This is monogram.
I can sail my sailboat to all the hot air that's coming out of this headline, but it ain't going anywhere.
I love me some hot air.
It's all style, no substance. Open that motherfucker up, gut it, and see what's inside of it. And if there ain't nothing gonna happen.
Speaking of hot air, we're gonna roll right on over to Mr. Todd